Hi guys, welcome to another exciting episode of Haunt Talk. So this video is going to be a little bit different. This is going to be kind of like, it's a little bit of a recap video of kind of what this year, 2020, has been like as far as like haunts and that go. And we're also going to talk a little bit about like future plans and some other stuff like that we're going to do with the channel. So I'm sure this one's going to be a much more like niche video. There's not going to probably be a lot of you. Some of you will watch it, but there probably won't be a lot of you. But we don't really have a script or anything like that. We're just going to kind of talk about some stuff. So I will say this year we definitely tried to go to some places that we hadn't before.
Yeah.
Which we did succeed.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the most challenging thing this year for us was there was a lot more actually videos we had planned, but because of how like every place sort of had things like, oh, you have to have a time slot, it was really hard to schedule it.
Yeah.
Like, because sometimes you would have like a ticket for one place at 11, but the other place before that, it's like 10 and they're an hour away and you're just like, whatever the time slot might be, and you're like, oh God, how long? And you're not quite sure how long it's going to take to get through that place.
Right. Yeah, and even with like non-ticketed places where we would show up and boom, we would wait 2.5 hours just to get into that haunted house and not have time to do anything else the rest of the night. And it was kind of like, how do you plan for that? You really can't.
Exactly. And one thing is too is we bought a lot of fast passes this year, and kind of transparent. Some places will let us in for free once in a while. It never changes the review. Sometimes that I think irks places the wrong way. Generally, we don't go to real crappy ones. Generally, we always find something we like most places. But if you are a haunt and there's reviewers come in and you do a thing where like you let them in for free, never expect that's going to get a good review from like any reviewer, because you shouldn't expect that. Because we always say the reviews are for people to find the haunts they want to go to and for the haunts themselves to kind of learn and grow from it.
Right.
And if you can't take criticism, no place is perfect. Even our favorite haunts, there's things that we recommend change. We almost always have, I wouldn't necessarily say a complaint, but a criticism.
Yeah.
Towards it. And
even if they get like perfect scores, we might say, they could use this or they could change this and make it even better,
Right. Exactly. So, that's something too. If you're a haunt owner or worker, don't get insulted necessarily by a bad review. Just take that as an instance to, just learn to be better. Like, as we were saying, like, with just trying to get to places, if we went to Mansfield, we had 3 places planned that night. We got to just Mansfield.
Yeah.
And that was it. And that wasn't the only time that happened. There was a few times where we didn't. So we were probably, I would say altogether, probably about 5 reviews short than what we were kind of hoping. Yeah. This year we ended up doing 15 reviews, and that is including the 2 that we did in Tennessee. So Gatlinburg. Yeah, they're both in Gatlinburg they were. Which those are year-round haunts. And so is Ghostly Manor, but Ghostly Manor is different because they actually improved the show. Mm-hmm. And I will say for Ripley's, because we kind of dogged on that one because it wasn't good. I was watching a vlog and they actually had actors and stuff in it. So maybe we just went like at a really bad time. Like maybe we went, because we went like, I feel like they were trying to transition into like the October stuff, and maybe they just hadn't yet, because there was no one that tried to get us in that haunt, but I have seen that done that.
Yeah. I mean, they had said something about like they were getting ready for Halloween time, mm-hmm. and that they were, initially we went the day before, and they said, oh, they're closed today because they're getting ready for Halloween, but they'll be open tomorrow. So We're like, oh, so it'll be like a new show, maybe there'll be like actors, it'll be amped up. And then we walked in and there was nobody, and it was kind of...
I really wish there was more year-round haunts. I really do, because there's not many.
No.
it's nice that at least places were, and I'm hoping we see this in 2021. They were opening up for like special events like St. Patrick's Day, Christmas, and a lot of them had planned to, but a lot of it got canceled because, you know, March is when the cooties really sort of started hitting us, and so it canceled a lot of our plans as well.
Yeah.
And we talked about some of the stuff we're doing future. So something that would be kind of haunt related is what we planned last year, plan to this year is doing escape rooms and kind of doing reviews on that, because I would say that a lot of escape rooms are haunt-like.
Yeah, like they have like themes where it's like haunted mansion,
Haunted hotel, or whatever.
Yeah.
And
or
there's
zombies, things like that.
And there might not be scares per se in most of these, but it's still kind of like thrilling and anxiety ridden, I guess.
Yeah,
trying to, like,
I was
figure
gonna say
things
stressful,
out.
but anxiety is a better word. Yeah.
Right. So we already have a couple of those we know we want to do. Something else we've been in the talks, we want to do interviews with people that are in the haunt industry, you know. So if that's something that you are interested in, and you're watching this video, make sure to comment below. Something else, make sure to like us on Facebook, because we do post every video that we do there. And sometimes things can get lost on YouTube. On Facebook, if you're following us and just checking the page, or that is just one more way to make sure you like don't miss any videos or anything like that. It's also the easiest way to get a hold of us.
Yes.
Because YouTube is also really weird at notifying me about comments. Like, I have my notifications all turned on, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes I just don't see comments, and like they're there, but I just don't see them, so I don't respond to them because I never see them until like weeks later. But I try and respond to everyone if it's actually a question or anything. And something else we plan on doing that's not haunt related is we already filmed one, but we're going to be doing like different like snack box unboxings. We'll see how that goes. See if anyone actually watches them, to how long we continue that on for. There's going to be definitely at least 2 videos, because we filmed one and we have another one on the way. What else do we plan on doing? Oh, more haunted adventures.
Haunted adventures.
So going to haunted places.
In fact, we have one coming up that will actually be at a haunted attraction that's haunted. So we'll see if we get anything from there.
Right. Exactly. You know, we're just trying to think of like other ideas of stuff to do, and we have some, but it is nice to have participation. If anybody has recommendations of what they would like to see that would interest them, that's not necessarily haunted house related, or not just haunted house reviews, because that's going to be a given. You're going to get more haunted house reviews next year. One thing we're toying with is like going to some of like the haunt conventions and filming there, and kind of doing like a video on that, and that kind of thing as well. You know, but just different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We tried the vlogging thing for like amusement parks and stuff, and that didn't like.
Yeah.
We also tried doing food reviews. Maybe that'll come back at some point. No one watched them, but we just kind of did it because like we
eat a lot.
Yeah, our 2 favorite things is creepy stuff and just eating a lot. You know, I mean.
We always like to go to like different places to eat, and we're like, why aren't we like vlogging about this? Because more people need to know about this place, you know?
And places in Ohio, because, you know, I mean, or just local, because a lot of people, you know, just go to your chain restaurants and stuff and don't really know what's good out there. So that's why we thought it would be good to do it. But no one really watches videos, and it does kind of make sense, I guess, because like it's not on brand of what we generally do on the channel. And, you know, also, as far as short films go, if anyone actually that's watching this video watches our short films, remember that's like kind of what started us on YouTube, and we still do it, not as much because like they're a lot of work for basically nothing. Joan's the only one that's really got what I'd consider a lot of views. Everything else is like sub 3,000 for the most part, which is, I mean, YouTube pays in pennies. Like, we don't do this for profit. If we did, we'd be stupid. But yeah. I've also had one person mention wanting to like do kind of like meeting us at like a place. If that's something anyone else is interested in, you can leave that in the comments. We might do that next year. We do plan on going to the Ohio Haunters Convention.
Ohio Haunters Convention, yeah. We were supposed to have actually a table there this year, and they canceled it because it was actually held at Ohio State Reformatory. And they canceled, you know, all events because of the cooties and everything like that.
Right.
But they are planning on having it next year, so we're probably going to have a table there again. So if you do want to meet and greet with us, that's probably going to be your best bet.
We will be there, yeah.
Plus, I mean, it's a haunted location. They have a really cool haunted house there. And I know the first year they had it, they had this convention. They actually had the haunted house open.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was only partial because they actually had the convention in the cell blocks.
Right. So it's basically what it was this year.
Yeah, it was basically what we got to see this year. If you went to the Blood Prison, you experienced pretty much what we did with the convention last year. But it's still pretty cool to see. And it's nice to hang out with other haunters and haunt enthusiasts and such like that. So
if it's something you're interested in, I definitely think that it's, even if you don't own a haunt, or we don't, So we went, even before we did like the media stuff, we would go to what was Midwest Haunters Convention when it was in Columbus. They still do it, but where's it at now? Chicago?
It's in Chicago now.
Yeah, and that's a little bit, I doubt we'll do that because it's kind of far, and it was kind of becoming less and less good. Like, I think the first 2 years we went was like the height of that show. And then every year after
really
that, it was just
good,
progressively worse.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping, because this would have been the second year the Ohio Haunters Convention was going on, correct?
Yes.
So this 2021 will be the real second year since this previous got canceled. And I didn't get to attend it. She took a lot of footage, and we do have a video. Don't we have that on YouTube?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a little video floating
there is.
around.
Yeah, there's a video of that on there. So if you're curious about what that was like the first year, you can go check it out from what Kim filmed. And then, we're both going to be there.
If you follow us on Facebook, I'll post it. And that way you guys can see it. So you can go over to our Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put it up on there.
Yeah, follow us on Facebook. Yeah, if you want to make sure updates, follow us on Facebook. It's the easiest way. Because every time I try other social media like Instagram or Twitter, I'm just really bad at actually doing it because...
Forgetting to post.
Yeah, well, I don't like Twitter. I don't use Twitter except to follow a couple of things. So I don't actually have a Twitter account that I ever post on. I don't like social media in general. The only reason I use it at all is because we like doing this kind of thing. Right. Or else I probably wouldn't even have a Facebook because I want to talk about a toxic cesspool, but that's a different conversation. But as far as other trial and tribulations this year, I mean, like, I don't know, Kim, what else did you notice this year that was, like, different or worse?
Well, we already talked about this in another video, but the whole social distancing thing, the 6 feet apart. The only haunt that I actually saw, and we didn't actually go to them this year, but I saw a picture of what they were doing with their queue lines, is they actually had space in between the lines, so you were 6 feet apart on the sides and in the front. Whereas all these other haunts we were going to, you had 6 feet between you and the person in front of you and behind you. But next to you, you still had somebody who was like a foot away. And that doesn't make any sense. You're not doing proper social distancing if I'm next to a person like this, but I'm 6 feet away from the person here. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense, and it just sucks that it's something that the haunts had to worry about to begin with.
Yes.
I mean, and again, I think most people that went to the haunts didn't care, but I will go on places, Facebooks, and just read. I never leave Facebook reviews when we do this, but I'll read others, and people are putting haunts on blast for not doing social distancing right for certain people, and there are a lot of Karens of the world, if you will, that did freak out about that kind of thing. And like, so the only thing that grinded my gears is the places that like really pretended like they were enforcing it by like yelling at you or something.
Yeah, walking around with big sticks.
Yeah, but like there's people right beside you, or telling you to stay 6 feet away, but then the actors in the haunt are literally this close to your face screaming at you.
Yeah, or grabbing you, like,
So it was a little bit, it was a little bit strange just because and I mean, I guess that's just this entire situation in a nutshell, is everything's so wishy-washy and unclear, and they say one thing, but, it's just it was just real bad. Everything's just really contradictory, but I'm really, really hoping that's not going to be a thing next October. Hopefully we won't have to worry about the masks or the social distancing or any of that. If we are, I hope that most of the places, though, that were closed this year are back open, because there were a lot of places that we missed, not going to. And that was another thing, there's so many places, like, for example, Rich's Fright Farm. We were going to go there because a lot of people were like, you need to go back. And I'm like, yes. But thankfully, we were going to go, and then I happened to find out that the mansion, which is, like, a big portion of this haunt, is just closed. I would have been so mad if we would have drove, 3 hours to get there, and, half the haunt was closed.
Right.
Yeah, and so that's and there's so many things like Blood Prison, they did it. Blood Prison was more of a not their fault kind of thing. Yeah. Rich's was a choice because they wanted to keep it mostly outside, because as soon as you go inside, that's when the Rona it attacks you. Inside, it's just instant death.
Instant death, yes.
So yeah.
Just like drinking after 10, instant death.
Yeah. So the whole thing, just is honestly tiring, I would think, how I describe it, and that's why we didn't do any this following weekend. We actually did a video, which should be posted before this, of home haunts. So, which we actually, there's actually footage of the home haunts and stuff in there. We went to a whole bunch actually, but most of them weren't big enough to really film. Like, it would be like a couple seconds, but I filmed like 5, like 3 of those, which are pretty big. 2 were walk through, and then 1 was a bigger one. So that was fun. We did enjoy that, and I'd like to go to more home haunts. And some of the home haunts are actually usually walkthroughs.
Yeah.
But this year, there's just a couple of them are just yard displays because they didn't want, which is understandable if you're a home haunt. You know, I mean, for one, you're already not getting money, and then trying to control people from not just standing on top of each other and not getting in trouble by local authorities or whatever. Like, I totally understand them not wanting to do the walkthroughs just because of that. But yeah, I mean, that's probably it. I don't know. Is there anything else we need to talk about?
I can't really think of anything.
Yeah, we just figured we would do a recap, and I mean, our show calls Haunt Talks. We figured we'd just talk about haunts a little bit. But yeah, and again, please leave comments, you know, of where you'd like to see us go next year. Next year, we plan on going to a lot of places, a lot more long as things are back open, and hopefully they open early again, because it made it harder to get to as many places too, because so many, like for example, Hunter Acre Manor, which was closed, and that was a big bummer. It usually opens like the first week in September.
Right.
So we would like hit that one first, you know, and then all of that. But this year, most places didn't open till like the last week in September, and a lot of places still didn't even open till the first week in October.
Yeah.
So it's hard to make it to others, but we still managed to get 15 reviews in though.
Yeah,
So.
I was really surprised. I thought we would have a lot less, but because it kind of just blended in after a while of just going to all these places, and I kind of lost track. And yeah, you was counting the videos, and I was like, oh wow,
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that many.
But yeah, next year we wanna try and get to a couple ones that we always do, but we want to try and get some different ones as well. You know, get different places under our belt. So yeah, any places you suggest, we will travel to an extent. You know, so just any recommendations really in the Ohio, PA area, West Virginia, you know, and we'll see what we can do. But yep, that does it for this video, and it's probably the last of the season, but we'll see you guys in the next.